Well, as you can see, we're back in the collector's attic again, and that's kind of fun. We play toys. We practically live up here. We could set up a room up here with a bed, except we'd have to move a bunch of toys out in order to do that.
That's
so
right.
We're not going to do that.
That's okay. I'll sleep on a model car.
We have a lot of different areas up here with a lot of different things, and we've barely scratched the surface here on the show. Last week we looked at the Ford quadricycle, part of this little series on the die-cast cars, the large-scale die-cast cars by Franklin, back about 20 years ago. And they're in a large scale. Then later on, all the companies went to 1/18th scale for all of the die-cast cars, and it's a shame because these real early large ones are really neat. But
I like those.
There's not very many of them made. These four being the principal. This week we're looking at the Duryea Motor Wagon.
Oh, this one's my favorite. From
the same year, 1896. The Ford quadricycle, 1896, and now the Duryea, an American car with a very French-sounding name, but it's another American car. Claim to fame here was this ran on gasoline.
Oh, okay.
That was an idea that took off. At first, when they tried to run things on gasoline, everything took off because it was blowing through the roof of the building and so on. Yeah, very explosive. The earlier cars running on alcohol or benzene.
Benzene, oh boy.
But gasoline, a much more volatile but much more powerful fuel, and it gave this guy an edge. But 1896, the Duryea Motor Wagon. And this did not go on to found a company, unlike Mercedes-Benz later on from the Benz patent wagon, and of course Ford with the quadricycle went on to manufacture a few cars.
Oh, wow.
Actually our favorite car company when you get right down to it. Duryea, not so much. One of the fun things to note on some of these really early cars, I don't know if you can see this, I'm going to try to get right in on it, but there's a little curly Q decoration here, and you'll find that little curly Q on the Benz patent wagon as well. And why would they all have that beautiful little decorative element? What's that about? Well, that's where you hook the horse. When you run out of fuel or the engine dies, which happened all the time. So these cars were equipped with a way that you could quickly hook up a horse and use it as a buggy when that became necessary.
Where did they keep the horse?
You just borrow one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you grab somebody that was riding by. A little horse robbery there on the corner. I don't know. But if you got stuck somewhere, you had to get this back to its garage.
Yes.
How are you going to do that? So they made these so that you could hook a horse to them. They are a horseless, at most times, horseless carriage.
Here I had a hard enough time buying booster cable.
Somebody's riding by on their big stallion. Can I get a boost? What? You think you can hook cables to my... No, you just want to hook your horse to my vehicle. Anyway, this particular model, this Franklin, very heavy, 1/6 scale, so it's very large, leather top, velour seats. It's just really well made. Chain drive here, that's a functional chain drive. It's just a beautifully done model. And this of the four is absolutely the hardest and the most expensive.
Yes.
But you have to look high and low. If you know how to set up an automatic search on eBay, set one of those up, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, and then expect to drop $400 to $600 depending on the quality of the model. One of the things that you can expect to find wrong with so many of them is that the top won't go up. People would display these with the top down because the top is fully functional. It'll go up and down. And if you display it with the top down, which I do not do, the leather shrinks and you may never get it back up. Now this one had been displayed with the top down when I got it, and I spent a couple of days very carefully stretching the top and pulling it up until I got the bows to pop in place. And it has not been down since, and I'm not going to lower it.
Not in this dry climate, no.
I think it looks so much better with the top up. But it does look good with the top down as well. And like I say, it's a fully functional thing. It's got, this is kind of fun. It's a crank start, and the crank actually works. And the whole drivetrain is mounted in an angle here through the car. Not sure why they build it that way, but the entire drivetrain sits in there at an angle.
That's funny.
Anyway, just a really, really neat car. Difficult to find, expensive, but definitely the best of the four. We saved the best for last.
There we go.
That's always best.
One of our best.
One of our
for
best.
us.
Well,
My
yeah,
favorite.
of the four.
Yeah.
Of the four, this is my favorite. It's her favorite.
I
and
love this
it's
one.
the biggest, the heaviest, the most expensive, and the hardest to find. It's just the way those things tend to go. Well, if you haven't been over to the channel, do pop on over to the channel. And while you're over there, you want to subscribe. And the easy way to subscribe is to click on the famous blue button. Zoink! Right in here is the blue button, and it says subscribe. And if you click on that, it takes you to the channel and makes you a subscriber. So that's pretty cool. And then you'll be notified when we upload a movie, generally Sundays and Tuesdays and sometimes other times as well. So you want to be notified.
Yes.
And the blue button can facilitate that. Well, we're not sure how you found this movie on the internet, and we hope you didn't find it boring. And we will see you here again on Sunday with the Sunday Drive Show. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.